So last time I was working on, uh, let's see, which level was it? Last time I was working on this registers level, and I've made a few changes. These components, turns out all of that, who's it, what's it I was doing with the AND gates and the NOT gates and all that, this component does that, and it's a much smaller package. So we swapped that out, and we have now worked our way all the way up to having a working computer by the technical definition, and now we are learning to program said computer. So the computer can do a couple of things. It's got a condition unit where when it's in, or I should start with the instruction decoder. So the instruction decoder basically switches it between four modes. You've got your immediate mode, which sends any value 0 to 63 right to register 0. You've got calculate mode, which uses this guy to add or subtract or do some logic operations on registers 1 and 2, outputs it to 3. You've got copy, which is how the register levels worked. That was what that level was just copying. Then you've got condition, where you can write an instruction so that if register 3 is less than 0, greater than 0, equal to whatever, you can output, you can reset the counter, so basically the tick of the program to the value in register 0. So this program's pretty simple. All it's doing is you write the bit codes for adding 5 to an input. So it gives you a little tool here if you don't remember off the top of your head what each bit code is, but you can see how you can change the different modes of the computer and what it's doing. Basically all this program does is add 5 to an input, and that's pretty boring. The next thing that I programmed is the level text is basically asking you to calibrate laser cannons for a theoretical spaceship, and so you have to do 2 pi r, which it lets you approximate pi as 3, so it's basically 6 times r, which r is the input that we're given. So for any r, we need to calculate 6 times that. Now, I just mentioned that this thing adds and subtracts. I didn't make it to multiply or divide because, well, that's what multiplication and division are, is addition and subtraction. So now I needed to figure out a way to multiply a specific number of times, because we're always multiplying by 6, but we need to know how many times, and it took me a while to figure this one out. I even talked to a buddy of mine who was he knows how to code, like that's what he does. I don't really know what he is. He's a fucking great guy is what he is. But he was trying to help me figure out how he would write this program, because he doesn't know assembly, and this isn't really like really assembly. But I decided what to do was to copy the input into register 3, and basically every time we add 6, we subtract 1 from the input and store it, so that once we've done it the input number of times, the value in register 3 is 0. So if it's equal to 0, that means we're done and we send it to the output. So that's how this program works and what it's doing. This one takes a while because it's not a very fast computer, and I'm sure this isn't very optimized code, but this one takes a while to run. But the one I just did, I was pretty pleased with. So basically this one, you need to make a program that will guess the passcode to a door that's between values 0 and 256. So you basically just need to guess every number as fast as you can. You don't lose if it's slow, but I mean the goal is to make a program that'll do it as fast as it can. So my first attempt, all it's doing is adding 2 over and over and over again until so one of the details too to how this works is if your guess is too high, the input reads 1, and if it's too low, the input reads 0. So basically we're just adding 2 until the input reads 1, that we've gone too high, we subtract 1, and then we output that number, and that's the guess. That's the combination. But you can see how slow that was. But for the second attempt, the code's a little longer, but it's a lot more optimized. Basically we're adding 8 every time instead of 2, so we can go between 0 and 256 a lot faster. But the moment that we get a 1, meaning our guess was too high, we go back 8 and we just add 1 in a loop until we get the desired output. And you can see how much faster this program runs to guess the codes. It's not even close to the same speed. But yeah, that's a little update on how this game is going and what I'm learning, and I'm really liking it.